contribute money, but you say, okay, you may have like 4 years to build this program. Now, if you're contributing 10, 15, 20 million dollars, if you're not where this contributor wants you to be in a year and a half, they're starting to make calls to see if they can get somebody else in your seat. So to me, the patience is starting to dwindle as far as what these people expect once they give all that money.
I agree with that. I think what Pat's saying, what it used to be is they give money, they build a new indoor facility.
Right.
Now it's more direct, like this quarterback, we need him, this running back, and when you don't
100%.
get the results, that's what I guess
exactly.
I'm asking. Is it right? Not Nick Saban, because he won 7 or 8, however many national championships. Yeah. Just your random coach. Is it fair for these guys that are giving them money?
Right.
Or how do we block that?
Right.
How do you still get money, but not allow those guys to make decisions?
I think
that's the big question. That's the issue.
I think you grow a big money tree in the backyard. And you go and cut that thing down every time you need it, because these humans that have the money, especially, I don't know. I just think you said something on my show yesterday about whenever you take the job, you have to set those parameters. Yeah. Like, I think that's the only way, business negotiation is set it at the beginning, which I go back to my story. I didn't know I should have done that. I should have got say. I should have been calling the first 10 plays, maybe. I'm just saying. You got to kind of set that, I think, at the beginning.
And that was going to be my comment about, for the guys that are going to go take these jobs now, you need to set the ground rules and the parameters of who you're reporting to, who has an influence on the program, and how that's going to impact your ability to coach players. Because if the players think you're not the guy making the decisions, you're not going to be able to have, the kind of influence on them that you need to have to get them to do the things to have a chance to win.
It's crazy time.
Yeah, Pat, to your point, I know a couple of guys, and one particularly in your situation, called, guy left, didn't play, called him up, said, I'm done. You want a new locker room? I'll contribute to that. Want something to put my name on it? I'll do that. Done with the players.
I have not made my final decision. I just
No, and I want to point out, it wasn't Pat. It was different school.
Thank you.
Different school.
With a lot of money.
We used to have this old saying, lock on, lock out. You lock on the right things and lock out the wrong things.
Marty Smith spends a day with Diego Pavia. You won't want to miss this.
Being in a situation right now is 6-1. I mean, everything we want's in front of us.
There it is, the College Football Playoff National Championship Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper. Winner of the College Football Playoff brings that home. It all starts December 19th. Diego Pavia says that's the mission. Bring it back for the Commodores and anchor it down. We're just 10 days away from the first College Football Playoff rankings. That's the official rankings show. Tuesday night, November 4th. Of course, we will be on this week as well with a preview show as well. Memphis is the home of Elvis Presley and the music, but he recorded 30 songs or more here in Nashville. Memphis lately, though, has been at the end of Lonely Street, Heartbreak Hotel last week against UAB. Did you guys see how this game ended? Memphis had been trailing. Greg DeRosier looked as if he had scored, initially ruled a touchdown. But hey, they've got it first and goal on the 1 right at the end of the game. But a couple of penalties, incomplete pass later. You're looking at 4th and 11, and it's incomplete. And Alex Mortensen and the Blazers pull the upset, and nobody's been able to slow down this guy. Byron Brown from USF. Does it running, does it throwing, 250 yards passing, 100 yards rushing in the last game. He's got 4 straight games with 3 touchdowns. It is USF and Memphis. USF is 1-7 against Memphis since joining the American Conference. So Memphis got knocked from the rank of the unbeaten last week. So as we get closer and closer to the official rankings, you start thinking, how many teams have hope? And it turns out a lot of them. As you look at the undefeated teams, now, look, Navy doesn't have a loss. They played the easiest schedule in the country, but they're still in the middle of this. They can win the American.
So we already talked about Ohio State. I think Ohio State's probably the most dominant team we've seen. Don't sleep on the Texas A&M Aggies. I really do like this team. Playing in Death Valley tonight against LSU is going to tell us a lot about them. Georgia Tech is a sleeper, I think. Outside of us, not many people give a lot of respect to, Coach.
All right, I think Navy, now they have some tough games left. They have to play Notre Dame. They have to play the best teams in their conference, Memphis, USF. But I think that the fact that they're undefeated, it would be great if a service academy would be able to get into playoffs, and I'm all rooting for Navy.
Absolutely.
The question is, who's not going to the CFP out of those teams? I mean, I think there's a lot that could be Navy maybe battling to get in there. BYU still battling, but let's get to these other teams.
How many do you say? I say 3 maybe.
And you think just 3?
Yeah, out of that group.
Okay.
All right. How about the one-loss teams? A lot of them have one loss, and these are among teams with at least a 2% chance to reach the playoff. All of these teams you might not expect with a lot of hope.
Well, there's a lot here. There's a lot to look at. The fact that you have one loss. The SEC, they're going to continue to beat each other up. You got Missouri still hanging in there.
Yeah.
You got UVA hanging in there. No one talking much about the Cincinnati Bearcats. We got Vandy in here.
Right here. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what's so exciting, Coach, right? And Pat, I mean, there's just so many teams with only 6. We got 6 weeks to go.
I mean, that's what you talk about the Big 12. That's why you can't just give BYU one over here, because there's still a lot of teams that can potentially get there. And not a lot of people are betting on 2% chances unless you're Chauncey Billups at a Chauncey Billups poker game. So 2% higher. I mean, he was making some big bets allegedly on things that were just not likely. And everybody kind of knew they were rigged games. But on that note, if you have any chance at all, obviously you're pumped. These teams, I think, still feel very real in the entire
Sneaky one, Pat.
Yes.
Of the group of 5s, they don't get talked about. They could be a factor.
But I think I agree, but it's going to be hard for them to get ahead of the champion from the American, because you have all of these other Americans.
They're out there.
Yeah, I agree.
This team was very impressive against Miami.
They were.
This team is very good offensively with a good quarterback. You know, Ole Miss is kind of in a showdown game today with Oklahoma. But it depends a little bit on who else do you play. After this game, if you get 2 losses and you've got quality teams that you play and you can get some quality wins, you may be able to create enough value to get in.
This is a well-coached team. Does a fantastic job. But 2-loss teams.
These teams, Texas, if they can figure it out offensively, it's not like they're done. I mean, Notre Dame, as we've talked about, if they run the table, they're almost a lock.
Yep.
I remember Ohio State lost 2 games last year, and they got hot at the end and won it all.
Brother.
These guys right here, how about Michigan?
Yeah.
If they can run the table and beat Ohio State, then somebody's got to be talking about them.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying about Iowa, too. Whenever you think about the Big Ten, there's still some teams that can go, because there's a lot of
TCU much love, too. TCU is very impressive.
I agree.
Quietly doing.
In the Big Ten, you know who else is not on here? Because they're a 4-loss team. But UCLA only has 1 conference loss. They win their games. They can go to the Big Ten championship game. So, in theory,
big game today against Indiana.
Yeah, still hope.
Big game today against Indiana.
This is 38 teams that we're talking about have a chance with 0, 1, or 2 losses.
That's right.
And only 6 weeks remaining. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah.
We talk about a lot of the bad in this new era. There's a lot of really good that has come from all this as well. Yeah,
6 weeks to go.
But the challenge is going to be who can finish. You know, you got to finish games and win in the 4th quarter, and you got to finish the season. So which one of these teams can finish strong?
All of these fan bases can just keep hope alive.
Yeah, right here, brother.
That's right.
Right here.
2%, baby.
I mean, that's a big number. It's more than 0.
There we go.
You're still in it.
I just want to say this, even with the 2%, mathematically and logically, if you go through and look at all of the standings, there are a lot more teams that are still alive because they can win their conference, and the top 5 conference champions get a spot.
Yeah.
No difference in rankings and seeds.
And I really think the CFP going to 12 has a lot to do with why this sport. Look at the ratings. Look at game. There's excitement. Despite all the off-the-field issues, that's the reason this sport is so popular. You're in the midst. You got a shot.
Stories like Diego Pavia. They would love to see win a Heisman here. Has certainly transformed football in Nashville, because the Titans stink.
And the Commodores most certainly do not. They've changed things around. Diego Pavia is the toast of the town. Our friend Marty Smith, a little bit earlier this morning, talking to us about some time he spent with the Commodore quarterback.
Reese, Diego Pavia is an enigma. His flashy play and brash personality have lifted Vanderbilt football to historic heights this season. But like many things in this life, time offers perspective on a man. I spent my entire Tuesday in Nashville with Pavia and saw why, in a city of stars, he's shining so brightly.
This
this is the Diego Pavia you know.
Pressure off the edge. He steps up, and now he's going to run for the end zone and score! Diego Pavia!
But being that player on Saturdays requires this on Tuesday.
There he is.
Good morning.
What up, bro?
How you doing?
Man?
You doing good?
See you, partner. I'm
Good
great,
to see you,
dude.
too.
I'm great. Early.
Hell yeah, look at the boys.
They've been here. They've been out here grinding all morning.
Yo! NFL. What's up, Nick? What's up, baby?
What up, dog? You good?
So y'all get started really early. Are you a creature of habit? Do you start every day this way?
Yeah. Hot tub and nice day.
Get those old joints loosened up?
What's up, Grayson? Good morning.
Good morning, man. Morning. How you feeling? Good. So, what's the mission? Win. The only team that can beat Vanderbilt football is who?
Vanderbilt football.
And that's it. It's that complex and that simple. So right now it's about honing in on our target. That target is deserving.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, babe. Put on your helmet. Let's do that weak-ass energy today, huh? Listen. Can you guys do this or no? Let's go.
We know what it takes to win. We know what it means to focus and execute. So while the world wants to go crazy, we just find peace in the process. You guys understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Family on 3, 1, 2, 3, family.
After practice, Diego begins the recovery process with the practice of grounding, removing his shoes to make direct physical contact with the earth, which he believes helps mental performance.
So, for you two, who really is this guy?
I think he's like the ultimate teammate, to be honest. Like, I know he's sitting right next to me, so I can say this, but like, he's a God-fearing dude. He's competitive in everything, so it brings everyone else up.
Appreciate it, bro.
Dude's wild. Obviously, like, how he talks is crazy, how he performs is crazy, like, but the thing is like, he works. Like, he's here early, late, like, he works.
What were your dreams when you came here?
Win a national championship. And to be in a situation right now, it's 6-1. I mean, everything we want's in front of us, so we just got to keep building day by day.
What pride do you take in being one of those catalysts to build this?
I don't even know if it's pride, you know. I would say it's more like, come watch us, you know. This show happens on Saturdays and stay for the after party on Broadway.
He's the guy who makes it go for sure, but one of the cool things about Diego is he's really gone out of his way. He said, I want some spotlight on my teammates. The entire team in Vanderbilt has done that, but they have found their undisputed leader, and perhaps he will be the guy, front runner for the Heisman Trophy if he continues spectacular play. You know, he has those Heisman moments, and so too, having moments is Georgia Tech's homecoming king, the Ramblin' Wreck. This guy's been a favorite of the show. Haynes King will join us before Tech takes on Syracuse. We'll do it while he's warming up live on the field, and field goal kicking contest. They've been working on it.
Yeah, a kid named Tyler was selected. He kicked some football in high school. Yeah.
And a lifetime soccer player. So we're in trouble. We're in trouble.
Back here in Nashville, have a look at the Geico Fan Cam. Vanderbilt Marching Band is here. They have a lot of music students from a neighboring university in Belmont, one of the premier musical universities in the nation. Old Crimson here for the 329th consecutive time. Old Crimson, a heartbreaking loss at Virginia last Saturday night. They've got Toledo coming up this afternoon. Jason Campbell's Rockets going into the Palouse as we check in with the Home Depot Doer of the Week. It's Richard Dunlap, M&P Renovation in Smyrna, Tennessee. We welcome Richard and his crew out here. Here's a sorting day of sorts in the Big 12. Cincinnati's been one of the surprises. We just talked about them as one of the teams having opened. Here come the Baylor Bears in a prolific passing attack that they'll bring to Nippert Stadium. And the Bearcat defense has given up some yards. through the air. These Big 12 leaders, they all have some challenges. BYU, the only undefeated team overall, they're at Iowa State, where Matt Campbell's Cyclones during his tenure have knocked off 3 top 15 teams at home. Iowa State getting some guys back on defense. Thamel told us that earlier in the show. They've really dealt with injuries. They've got Rocco Beck leading the way. Baylor. And then Houston and Arizona State. Houston's lost only one time to Texas Tech. Arizona State will be without Jordan Tyson, who is having a hamstring issue. Connor Wigman, the Texas A&M transfer, has really been playing much better of late. Now, Texas Tech probably going to be a little bit irritated. They take on Oklahoma State. The Cowboys, of course, changing regimes after Mike Gundy looking for a coach, and they've been getting grilled. I imagine that series will not be in anybody's favor except Texas Tech's after the end of that day. But, Pat, this BYU team continues to win close games, show resilience. Bear Bachmeier's been terrific.
Yeah, Bear Bachmeier is certainly a stud. Went for like 230 and 2 tuds last week, including a 22-yard run to seal that 24-21 win over Utah. And you go back to last week for this BYU team. They were underdogs last week as an undefeated going into a game. And now yet again, here they are as an undefeated going into Iowa State as underdogs yet again. Now their defense forced 2 turnovers, and certainly that could help them against Rocco Becht and this Iowa State team, who's fresh off of 2 losses against Cincinnati and Colorado. But I think BYU is exactly where they want to be. They love being the underdogs. They have this grit to win. And after a huge one against Utah last week, I like Bear Bachmeier and LJ Martin and the boys over there for the Soaker Cougars team at BYU really well. But today's a tough one for them, especially with Dominique Orange coming back on Iowa State's defense, as Pete Thamel alluded to earlier today.
I know you're a huge fan. I am too. Kalani Sitake, the head coach at BYU. Amazing job that he's done. You lose your starting quarterback in July. You turn to a true freshman in Bear Bachmeier, and you're 8, potentially, if they win in Ames today, 8-0 for the 3rd time in Sitake's era that he's been the head coach. Just an amazing job of keeping that thing together. And then Scott Satterfield at Cincinnati. I think when UC got put into the Big 12, I think a lot of people, including a lot of people who are UC fans, thought there's no way they're going to be able to compete in the Big 12. Brendan Sworsby right now is spinning it. They're scoring on pretty much everybody that they play. So there have been some great surprises, I feel like, Coach, this year in the Big 12.
Well, I think Cincinnati is one of the teams that we don't talk much about. All right, but this team is really efficient and effective on offense. Quarterback Brendan Sorley has 24 touchdowns, total touchdowns to 1 interception. They're averaging 38 points a game. They've got 75 explosive plays, which is one of the tops in the nation, and they've got great balance on offense. Let me show you what I mean here.
Ooh.
You know, they're...
You got a little film?
We got a film here?
There we go. Right. False start in the
False start, yeah. So, you know, right here you're going to see an inside zone play. This Evan Pryor is a really good running back. You see him make people miss here, stiff arm, explosive play. Now you're going to see him on the outside zone with great vision. Sees the plays cut off, cuts back, sees a great running lane. Another explosive play, running the football, running for a touchdown. They've got a great weapon here in tight end Joe Royer. This guy is averaging over 15 yards per catch. He's athletic, he's a vertical threat, but he is good running after the catch. And this Brendan Sorley guy, the quarterback, I mean, this guy can throw, he can move. This is a little double move right here, and you're going to see him spin this ball right in between 2 defenders. Receiver makes a great catch. Another explosive play. But they also have Caleb Goody, who can get over the top of people, and you're going to see him, you know, with an explosive play here running a post against blitz coverage. Just outruns the guy. Sorley makes a great throw. Another explosive play. Lots of weapons on offense, lots of explosive plays. If these guys can play defense, they're going to have a chance for the championship.
Coach, you said it yesterday. You said he's squirrely, that Sorsby, and I think you were just kind of putting that together, but he has been spectacular for Cincinnati. They lose that first game at a neutral site against Nebraska, and I think everybody kind of rules them out because what you were saying about them in the Big 12. Great team, great tape. Look at you breaking down tape right there.
At home, only a 3.5-point favorite. It's on ESPN2. You can check them out. They've got some receivers, too.
Yeah, I love those tapes. Arizona State, 5-2, 3-1 in the conference, had the big win, though. They knocked off Texas Tech. Texas team I thought was going to win the Big 12. It's not over yet. They still can. But I like Arizona State. Kenny Dillingham does a fantastic job. Jordan Tyson is out, their star wide receiver with the hamstring. He proved to us a year ago that without Jordan Tyson, they won the Big 12 championship game, and then they gave the Longhorns all they can handle in an overtime loss in the playoff game. So I still have a lot of confidence in their quarterback, Sam Levitt. He's back. And you look at their schedule. They play Houston today. If they're able to get past Houston, who they got left? They got Iowa State, and then they have West Virginia at Colorado, and then they wrap the season with a game against Arizona. I think they can make a run.
Totally could.
Absolutely.
And even if they get left out of the championship game, they might have enough to be able to say, hey, throw us in there as a potential at large.
There could be some people beating up on each other over the course of the last month, too, that'll open some doors as well. Getting ready, top of the noon hour, and we'll start in the ACC on the ACC network as DoorDash is counting us down to kickoff. About 98 minutes. Virginia, a 5-game winning streak. Won some close ones in there. They'll take on North Carolina. Still looking to get things going. Let one slip away against Cal in the late hours a week ago. And then Georgia Tech and Syracuse. Brent Key has his team 4-0 in conference play. First time for the Yellow Jackets since 1998. They've got Syracuse coming up as soon as College Game Day ends at noon Eastern Time. AT&T is keeping us connected now on the flats with Georgia Tech quarterback Haynes King. Haynes, it's homecoming there. I think you're the logical choice to be homecoming king. Has there been groundswell and support given all the great things you've done this year on the field to give you a little homecoming king look?
I have no idea. Right now, really focused on Syracuse.
And that's why you're the king, brother. Okay, now, obviously, this season is very similar to last year. You guys have come in and done very well. What have you seen about maybe the maturity of your team that makes you guys be able to finish this year the same way you've started it, Haynes?
Oh, for sure. I mean, maturity is definitely the perfect answer. We got a lot of older guys, but the camaraderie that it's hard to build how close this team is with the camaraderie with, people from different diversities. We got freshmen coming in. We have transfers coming in. So to be able to build that and have that camaraderie is pretty special. And, that's kind of what got us here through adversity and all that. So we're going to ride with it.
Hey, Haynes, it's Kirk. I just want you to know that this warm-up look, Diego Pavia did it. We really appreciate you doing this in the midst, and you're kind of a pioneer. You're kind of creating a thing that we love to do to kind of give fans a look behind the scenes. So much love for doing this. What is Georgia Tech's program about beyond Haynes King? What if fans nationally, they see that Georgia Tech or GT, and what do they not understand about this program and how legitimate it's become?
Really, a lot of people don't understand what we came from. And I don't even understand the full picture, honestly. From when Key took over, I wasn't here. I was here his first tenure when he was officially the head coach. But some of those guys, we still have them on the team. Like Malik, he's one of the main guys that helped build it the whole time. J-Mo, those guys that's been here, Joe Fusel, guys that's been here the whole time to actually seen it from where it's actually came from. Before I got here, before Key's interim year, they were, I believe, 3-9. It was a rough spot. Then they showed a couple glimpses of life that season. I think got like 5-7, and then from what we've came from, it's pretty special, and just kind of what it took as well. And then Key just being himself around us, and the guys that he's hired to coach us and develop us, and also the guys that he's brought in to, keep that locker room the way it is.
Haynes, one of my biggest concerns as a coach was when you got to this point in the season, you're 7-0, you're undefeated. How does the team handle the spotlight? Have you guys been able to continue to stay focused and prepare things the way you have all season long, or do you see any of this being a problem moving forward?
I think, we're still able to prepare like we have all along. Coach Key, he said it before the season started, The internal expectation will always be higher than the external expectation. With that being said, you're never going to get too nervous or worried about all the outside noise. How do you handle the outside noise is really how you're going to, perform as a team. If you let outside noise and all that get to you, then you're going to struggle at times, especially, games like this. You're 7-0, 12 o'clock game. You think you have it in the bag, but really, you still have to prepare just like any other game, like this biggest game.
Haynes, I'm a big fan of you guys and the way you guys play football. Your style, I just love the way that you approach it. Tell me about one word you would use to describe your head coach, Brent Key, and why.
How would I describe Coach Key?
Yeah, one word to describe Coach Key and why.
Genuine. And then on top of that, it's hard to really say just describe him by one word, But like I said, the best word that I can describe him is genuine. He stays true to who he is. He hadn't really changed. Week to week, he's still been himself. He'll get fired up every now and then, which all of us love, because it just shows how genuine he is, how much it cares to him, or how much it matters to him and stuff like that.
I appreciate that descriptor is genuine. You use word like diva on somebody, they might want to fight you. So genuine seems a lot better. And now on that note, I would like to offer you an opportunity here, Haynes. If you can take that football, okay, from where you're standing right now, and hit an upright, the upright that is closer to you on that field goal. No, you're walking closer. Hold on now. Hold on now. You got to be over in the corner. You want to go crossbar or upright, Haynes? What do you want to do?
How about this?
Okay.
Let's get, since last time I missed it, how about I get one of my linemen out here to try to hit it, and let's double it.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, we'll go $500,000 if one of your offensive linemen hits a crossbar, and to a charity of your choice, Haynes. Which offensive lineman?
Yeah, the Ranger.
Yeah, it feels
Big
like
Red, Keelan Rutledge.
What yard line? 10-yard line, Haynes? 10-yard line?
What do you want, 10, 15, whatever?
Okay, yeah, 15. Yeah, 15-yard line.
20.
Where's the big fella? Who's
15?
coming in here?
He's going to get somebody who used to play quarterback.
He's like, I got him.
Okay, who is this, Haynes? Who is this, Haynes? Oh!
Hey, they said 15-yard line.
77.
Hit the crossbar. $500,000 donation.
Need that.
You got it? You got me?
Oh, yeah. Haynes, who is that?
Big Red, Keelan Rutledge, 7-7.
Big Red. That was a miss? All right, good. You could have celebrated like it was a make. You had us there. Big Red, I appreciate your everything. Haynes, you're awesome, brother. You're awesome. Good luck today, boys.
Thanks, Haynes.
All right,
Yes, sir.
Haynes
Thank
King, the last time Georgia Tech was unbeaten through 7 games, they won a share of the national championship.
Oh.
1990. Michigan and Michigan State will play for Paul Bunyan's trophy. The Wolverines and Spartans renewed their bitter rivalries 10 years ago. The 10-block left led to the most improbable finishes in series history. And one of the most iconic plays is Michigan State's Jalen Musk Jackson scored the winning touchdown. That's heroic on the field, but as Jen Latta joins us, there's something unfolding in East Lansing, Jen, that is heroic on any field.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, if the goal of every football player is to make an impact on the field, then Michigan State's Armarian Smith is certainly succeeding. Because, yes, there are tackles, there are interceptions, there are pass breakups for the senior defensive back. But the teammates say he's the heart of the team for the way he shows up for the Spartans every day. This last year has tested Armarian in ways that football alone never has. But he will be remembered not just for stats, not just for starts, but for sacrifice and the way he has shown up for his family.
His journey has been a series of storms. It's chaotic at times.
I feel like I'm 3 different people at one time. You never got time to just be a kid. But this is what she wanted. People, they don't understand what I actually go through. My name is Amarion Smith. I'm 22 years old. I'm a senior at Michigan State. I play defensive back. My mom's name is Gayla Gilliam. She had me when she was 20 years old. I didn't have a dad. My mom was literally everything for me. I'm from Southwest Detroit, Michigan, from a small town called River Rouge. We went through a lot of hardship. We lived off tax money and food stamps. I started playing football in high school.
I'm supposed to pick it, man. Hey, watch the trap, watch the trap.
It just made me want to go harder. Give her a life she never had. It was Thanksgiving of 2022 when I found out my mom had terminal breast cancer. She was scared for her life. My mom passed away August 8th, 2024. She was 41 years old. It just broke my soul. I just wish I could talk to her. I need a hug. Come on, Mom. When it first happened, I still couldn't process it. I was still trying to play ball, paying for funerals and, all of that stuff. Before she passed, I just made her a promise. I promised her I'm gonna make sure I take care of these kids. I have my little brother Armand, he's 17. I have my other little brother Yvonne, he's 16. I have a little sister named Ariel, she's 12. And I have a baby sister named Amaya, she's 4. I didn't want them to have to go through like foster homes or live with people who really don't care about them. I became guardian of my 4 younger siblings in 2024.
He was crying, tears. He like, I got y'all, man. I ain't gonna ever let nothing bad happen to y'all. Y'all coming with me.
Cause family all we got. Like, we all we need. It been like that our whole life.
Yeah, the tables turned on me real fast. I went from being like a normal student athlete to I'm a parent. I was just a kid. I'm still a kid now. Where we go stay while I'm in school, figure out how to go eat, clothing, and things like that. I'm always worried. If I'm not here to do this, what will happen? Who's going to do it? What's going to happen? I get overwhelmed a lot. I was just lost. Categorize my entire day. So when I wake up, I got the same schedule pretty much every day. My 2 little brothers and my other little sister, they're in middle school and high school, so I dropped them off first. Then Myra started school an hour after them. I'd be having to bring her with me to meetings.
So if I leave this out, meaning Nick, I'm on the front side of this route, doing what this guy's doing, leading it out.
So I dropped her off at school. Then I rushed back to the facility to go practice. go at it for a few hours. After that, go to class. You finish the class, pick the kids up. It's just the same thing every day. Football take my mind off a lot of things.
Hey, come on, man, get some reps. I got you over here.
He's carrying a lot on his shoulders.
Ready, set.
You can almost feel him release some of that tension through his hits.
And knocked away by Armorian Smith, who's been a hero now 2 weeks in a row.
He is still weathering his storm. There isn't a day that goes by where we're not thinking about what he needs.
And going in there with the hit, I believe, with Avon Smith.
It turned me up, man, because like, I remember I was in high school, and there's a lot of kids out there that ain't physical. But this one right here, I'll be telling him he got so much potential, man. He could be better than me.
Colored lights, a million faces. What I give for one more season. Back when we thought nothing could go wrong. The leaves are falling from the trees. I'm playing back our memories. All this time and suddenly you're gone.
Marion make us feel safe by like just being there, him being there himself, feel protected. And he a real good man.
I think he's strong at everything he's going through, how he handle it. He don't let nobody see the downside of it. I wish I could be more like him. I wouldn't want nobody else being my guardian. Yeah, my big brother, he's the man for the job.
God do give his toughest battles to his strongest soldier, so maybe I am one of those. I do whatever for these kids. And as long as my mom's proud of everything I'm doing, that's a win for me as well. I love you, Ma. I miss you.
Thanks to Omarian's NIL opportunities and a GoFundMe that was set up when his mom passed, he has been able to make ends meet. But of course, it has not been easy. He will graduate in December with a degree in criminal justice and then will likely turn his attention to the Combine and the NFL Draft. And on another note, yesterday, Matt Ishbia, noted MSU alum and owner of the Phoenix Suns, was alerted to this story by our guy, Pat McAfee, who told him about Armarian. Matt said he wants to help Armarian's family in any way that he can. So under the guidance of the Michigan State Compliance Department, Matt and Armarian are going to connect very soon to see just how Matt can best support Armarian's journey going forward. College Game Day continues here in Nashville right after this.
Quickly, great scene here, AT&T Connected Cam here in Nashville. Just beautiful, beautiful campus. Marvelous crowd, huge game, Vanderbilt and Missouri coming up this afternoon on ESPN. Top 15 showdown between these two. We take a look, as we mentioned, AT&T Connected Cam. With just a sea of flags and signs and humanity out there. Kept saying AT&T Connected Cam. Who by now doesn't know that the Connected Cam is brought to you by AT&T?
Well, it's connected to a great crowd here. This is a setup here. They've been out here all morning. Big brains out here. The kicker, chemical engineer, and econ major. That's what we're doing here.
It has certainly changed around here. Great morning. Ryan McGee tells us how Vanderbilt has transformed itself.
A century ago, the story of Southern football was written by Vanderbilt. Literally, Grantland Rice, the greatest sports writer to ever put fingers to keys. His alma mater, Vanderbilt. In 1923, when Alabama decided to take football seriously, they hired head coach Wallace Wade away from Vanderbilt. In 1926, when Tennessee promoted Robert Neyland, his marching orders? Please figure out a way to finally beat Vanderbilt. Over far too many of the 100 seasons since, the Doors have been the doormat of the SEC.
Long game, man, long game.
But thanks to a fullback turned coach and a hero from the high desert of New Mexico, 2025 feels an awful lot like 1925. Because just as it was back in the black and gold day, Southern football is anchored down at, yes, Vanderbilt.
Yeah. Right in the middle of the Old Dominion Freight Line bleachers, a bunch of Vanderbilt athletes. I mean, they've won. The Vandy boys win big in baseball under Tim Corbin. You know that. We got the golf team here. Caleb Blake's from the women's basketball team. And now football is king. Here's Clark Lee has led Vanderbilt to a top 10 ranking. First time since 1947. Beat Alabama last year. First win over a top 5 team. Winning season, first bowl win since 2013, and so much more ahead. And we are pleased to be joined by the head coach of the Commodores, Clark Lee. Clark, I mean, Vanderbilt's eating. You don't. Have you broken fast yet? The day before games, you fast, right?
Yeah, first of all, I don't know that I'd be doing my job if I didn't officially, on behalf of Commodore Nation, welcome Coach Saban aboard. I heard this. I heard we took a commitment this morning. I appreciate that, Coach. Yeah, listen, the fasting, my wife would kill me if she knew this was starting with me talking about fasting. You know, as I've gotten older, there are just certain things I need to be doing to take care of myself. And Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are my commitment. And part of this, too, is like, I want the team to know that I'm willing to suffer as well. You know, they put in so much to this. And so what are ways that I can show them that I'm taking the same discipline, same commitment that they are? It's different because I don't play anymore, and I think we're all grateful for that. But just little things that I can do to show my commitment level.
Yeah, you look good. You know, it looks like if there was a fight amongst the coaches, I think you would bode very well, especially for the fact that you fast 3 times a week. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret, I haven't figured it out yet. But for you, let's talk about what you built here, obviously very quickly. We've seen it through multiple different successful operations. Bring the quarterback and the offensive coordinator from a place and maybe jumpstart your entire offense. You bring in Beck and you bring in Diego. What went into that decision? And then immediately upon it happening, do you think, oh, wait a second, we're about to transform the entire era of college football, which you guys have done?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to this, and we don't have time to go through it all. But what I'll tell you is, as a coach, you're a systems builder. And I think my job is to facilitate alignment within our program and to build the right systems. And we had a vision for what success was going to look like here. And I think there were so many things foundationally we did in those first 3 years I'm so proud of and really gave us, the foundation for this launching point. But I recognized from year 2 to year 3 where we had made progress 1 to 2, 2 to 3, we did not. And I took accountability for that because I didn't feel like we had the right systems in certain areas or they weren't functioning the right way. So offensively, having studied what Tim had done, I was just so intrigued. You had complexity in personnel groupings and formations, but it wasn't gimmicky. You know, you had this quarterback run game that was so impressive. And, you know, when I first put the film on, I thought it was going to be some 6'7" gunslinger. And what I saw was actually more inspirational to me.
6'7", yeah.
I watched the Auburn game they played, and I saw this kid throw an interception early in the game, and we don't like that, but he suplexes the linebacker on the side, like literally, and got flagged for it. I learned about Diego Pavia in that moment, and so we made some systems adjustments there. And then the other thing, too, is, you know, we opened up support in the transfer portal and NIL. And there's no way you can tell this story without that being a part of it. And maybe that's, you know, part of what I'm most proud of. I think the shifts that have happened here at Vanderbilt to allow for this kind of environment to exist. And
hell yeah.
Vanderbilt deserves this. Our students deserve this. Our community deserves this. And we want to keep it going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coach, it's one thing to have a win against Alabama be like a moment, right? But you guys use that as a stepping stone. You almost beat Texas a few weeks later. You beat LSU last week. How do you develop within the locker room an expectation of, as the outside world's going, geez, what's going on with Vandy? Internally, you guys are like, this is who we are. Like, there's a big difference, you know what I'm saying, between, wow, look at that upset versus staying power.
Well, you know, look, coaches take it only so far. Players have to take it the rest of the way. And I can't, you know, we have an alpha leader in our locker room in Diego, and he's had such an impact and influence on this team and the mentality of this team. I think a deeper impact than I can have as the head coach. I mean, this story is not about me. It's about all the people that are pouring into this and giving to this that make it powerful. But ultimately, I think for everyone to understand, like today is our 291 first day together. 291 days we've spent together investing, sacrificing, suffering for this goal. And so nothing happens right now that hasn't been planned and prepared for. There's no attitude or mentality that shows up for you today that wasn't there 291 days ago. We've earned the right to be here. And last year, we knew we were close. I think that team was capable, obviously, of winning. But we didn't know how to win. We had to learn how to win, and we learned that through a tough loss at Georgia State and a tough loss in double overtime at Missouri. And a credit to these players and our staff, rather than those results somehow tanking us, you know, we shifted focus and we said, we're so close, and yet that margin, I remember saying this thing, that margin is going to be the hardest margin to close. Here's what we have to do. We got to stop turning the ball over. We got to eliminate 3 and outs. We got to take care of the explosives. And as we did that, you know, we found the success. And fortunately for us, it started with the game against Alabama, but it went way beyond that. And this team has built on that foundation.
Awesome. Well, you know, the one thing that I think is obvious is you've changed the limits on what people thought you could accomplish here. And obviously this is a big game for you tomorrow against Missouri, or today against Missouri, but what are the keys for you, do you think, in this particular game to help your team be successful?
Well, you know, I think, first of all, we're looking at this game with respect to explosive plays. And this is a contest between two teams that I think have identity. It's good versus good, you know. So explosive plays, obviously winning in the run game is going to be so important. Their offense is among the best. Our offense is among the best. This is about defenses that build the run wall, and I think it's going to come down to winning physically at the line of scrimmage. And then the third thing to me is turnovers, possession of the ball in these games. And in our league now, it's really starting to resemble the NFL. I mean, you only get so many times with it, and you better protect it. And if you can create more possessions for your offense, that's good. We love when, you know, Jordan White is snapping the ball to Diego Pavia. I think that's pretty good for Vanderbilt. So defensively, can we get off the field? Can we get the ball turned over? Those are the things I'll be looking at.
That was pretty good. Coach, when you look at Missouri's offense, what keeps you up at night that you think you may have to contend with this afternoon?
Well, Eli keeps me up at night. I mean, he you know, I think just to compliment him, I mean, I think they've really over the last few years kind of modeled what it looks like to build a program in the modern era. I've got so much respect for him and what he's done, but you know, he's an offensive mind, and this goes back to him being the coordinator at NC State. The stretch run scheme is really challenging, and it tests you in ways that you really aren't tested in other games throughout the year, and they've been really effective. Obviously, Hardy's a great back. They got a really good quarterback who's an athlete too. So there's things that are going to challenge us today. But at the end of the day, Des, it's a belief in who we are. It's a belief in how we'll show up. It's our team, and that's been our focus all week, and that's the attitude we'll take today.
How's this environment going to be? Pretty crazy? Or?
It's going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah?
By the way, your stadium, now that it's finished, congrats on that.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a landlocked situation. Not a lot you can do, but you guys figured it out.
My goal is that we keep building this thing, and the east side comes down, the west side comes down, and next thing you know, we do have 60, 70,000 in the house. But it's a credit to our leadership, Chancellor Diermeyer, Candace Lee, our athletic director, has worked so hard for that. We're fortunate. I want to share this with you. When I walked my team through that locker room, the GameDay Stadium locker room for the first time, some of the guys that have been here since 2021 with me were emotional, like literally tears in their eyes. And the reason is because they realized that before anyone else believed in what they were doing, it was their effort and their sacrifice that unlocked the potential for this, and that they deserve nice things.
Yes, they do.
They completely changed the image from the last time I was here in a very positive way.
It's been positive for sure, man. It has been sensational. Clark, thanks for spending time with us. There's Clark Clay.
Thank you.
Vanderbilt